Welcome back to another live trading session. Hello. We see some sideways market. Coming up. Welcome, Trouble. I want what next on gold. This is what our live session is all about, and in this live session we are looking at entry on we will be looking at, first of all, the complete multiple time frame analysis, looking at the market sentiment. At the moment we can see that from the fundamental perspective there is downward trend on DXY, right? So let's go back to also the news here to see what's happening about the news. So all right, so a couple of high impact news that you can see. Okay, now looking at in this session, if you guys look at, the market is in a significant trend, and where we looking at this market at the moment on gold with this news that we have seen in this upcoming session. The market is in a trend that we have seen, where if you look at the I'm looking at, first of all, gold to see that overall trend in the market, and with this overall trend, if you look at on gold, and then also you'll be looking at DXY. We have seen the DXY, there was entirely a break of structure here. Okay, so with that break of structure, the market has entirely broken back below, and with that break below, the market has entirely trended down, and with that trend on DXY, currently it's in a downtrend. So if DXY is in a downtrend, what we are looking at here on gold, that we could see potentially uptrend here, and we can see the gold has shown significantly bullish momentum here in this market, and with that bullish trend on gold, we are looking at the longer term picture here in this market, looking at here first of all daily market structure. I hope that you guys are ready for a big trading days and week. Looking at here in this market, this is the daily trend that you can see in this market. So looking at the bigger picture, if you look at in this market on daily and the lower time frame, so we'd like to look at, first of all, the daily trend to see where the market is eventually heading. Now this is the daily trend. So if you look at, this is where there is a daily bullish engulfer which has created this daily move back to the upside here, And with that daily bullish engulfer, we can see the previous day the market has printed another daily bullish candle, which also closed as a bullish price action. Followed by, we can see now currently the market is at a level where the daily low, and expecting that this market eventually to trend back to the upside, which is a long-term trend here that we can see in this market. So the longer term trend on gold is bullish, and because the longer term trend is bullish, we can expect gold in fact to remain upside here. But at the same time, if you look at the today's market has opened and tested the upper shadow with a rejection from that zone. So if you look at from this high here, the market has broken back below here, created this long wick, which is very small or short long wick on the daily, which is a support level. And with this support test on gold, the market tested that and created this pattern here in that market. So therefore, what we are looking at this market to eventually retest and then return again back above to the upside to create a new higher high in this market. So from the daily trend that you can see, the market is in an uptrend and we can expect it to continue to rise back here. But before it eventually going back to create a new higher high, we are looking at here that this market to retest that lower shadow and then to return again back to the upside here in that market. And that being said, if you look at the lower shadow of this, the market 4987 is a lower shadow of this daily, and also there is a daily 10 EMA. This is an extremely important area of value that you can see in the market, and in that important area of value that we are looking at this market to retest and then eventually return back to the upside. So here is the lower time frame market structure that you can see, expecting the market to, now from the intraday, if you guys look at here, the quite a few key support level here that you can see. So this is a key support level, and also there is another key support level, also there is another key support level. So quite a few key support level that the market is showing up, and in that key support level expecting the market to retest and then rebound back again in the major direction of the trend. So, and that being said, here is the lower time frame, quite a few long wick. Okay, so if you look at here, a pretty long wick candlestick pattern, and also there is another long wick. So here if you look at this one is identical. If you look at this 1 hour price action here, it's more than 3 ATR candlestick, and this kind of rejection is vital to see that the market, highly likely you could see that the price might respect 4987, 4988 level to be respected and potentially to be rejected of that key support level. And therefore of this key support level that you can expect the market to test and then continue to trend back again in the direction. So that being said, here we are looking at this level, which is the key resistance line on XAUUSD, and lower time frame that are expecting the market to eventually drop down here and then return again back in the direction of the trend. So the previous 1 hour a doji, and looking for the market to eventually test further lower shadow before it reverse again back to the upside here. And that being said, we are looking at this market to have a retest and then to return again back to the upside here in that market. And we are looking at this market here. A breakup structure is essential to look for an entry in this market. And so I'm looking at traders to retest that support and then to revert again back to the upside here in this area. And that is where currently the price is approaching off this support back to the upside. And I'm looking at the lower time frame also. This is a support level on the lower time frame, and with the support expecting the market to respect and then reject back above. So the current trend line that you can see in this lower time frame is here. So this is the current level of trend line, and with that current level of trend line we'll be waiting for a break of that trend line and then to return again back above. I hope that you guys understood the analysis. If you understood, let me know. If you have any question. I'm looking at a breakup structure. Traders, are you ready for an entry here? In what next on gold, guys? Thank you very much. Understood. I'm ready. Entered buy. It's too early for buy, I think. But you can, if you have a strategy. I'm already entered. Thank you very much. We are waiting for that retest. Yes, looking at that retest of this support here. If you guys look at 5020, which is a key support level, and you want to see the market is breaking out of the trend line. Can you sell now? No, I'm not selling. This is bull market, so uptrending market. All right, trading with the trend is the key. No matter how good the strategy is, trading against the trend will never be profitable over the long term. So the strategy that I am using is always trend trading. Yeah, never sell against the trend. That means never trade against the trend. Absolutely, because when you trade with the trend, you started to see how the market is shifting the momentum. right? Because when you trade with the trend, because it's impossible to find an accurate entry every moment, but when you trade with the trend, you see how the market, like even if your entry is not accurate in the right time, right place, you still can enter and can gain profitable entry because of the flow of the market. Because the market moves from the market moves towards the directional flow. Welcome. Yeah, that's a great understanding. That never selling. Yeah, this is where we actually need to be as a trader. Trading is really hard, and when I begin, especially in the beginning, it looks very confusing. And one of the worst thing happen when you have multiple losses in trading. That's part of game, and also it's highly emotional, right? If you look at, I have shown a couple of times, if you look at the second chart, like the 1 second chart, have you ever traded? So if you look at this 1 second chart, then you can see how actually chart form. You see that how the chart is forming. So the market has gone up, came down, gone up, came down, gone up, came down. So along the way, like that. Now, what does that mean? Let's say you open a trade with, for example, $1,000 profit target. The price will go $100 profit, and then it will come back to minus $200, right? So it in fact creates significant, if you look at the emotional response as a trader. Now you see there is a breakout of this level. Okay, so the bulls has come in the market, and it has shown, you can see this is now at the moment in this zone here, we see that bullish price action has shown. And the previous also we opened quite a few trades. Here is also an inverted head and shoulder. The market has shown to be bullish here, leaving an order block. We might be able to find an entry in this market. I'm looking at so the market trend is, we can see that it is currently showing up to be bullish, and of this support of this trend line, it reacted back to the upside, but it was looking to see the market to trend for the downside here, and then we will be looking at that entry back to the upside in that market. Welcome. And okay, so with this high here, if you look at from this resistance line, from this high here, the market is rejecting off that. And if you look at here, the market is now breaking that low, and with that break below, the market may retest and then return back again to the upside here. So if you look at the market already has created an impulsive move back to the upside here. And with that movement, as the market trend is showing up to be bullish, it is quite clear. Thank you very much. Yes, we are looking forward to see a better entry. And as the market is in a trend where we are looking at this market to continue to rise back again off this support level. And because the market is in a trend, we are looking at this price action to show up, retest, and then return back again to the upside to create a new higher high. So therefore, if you look at, this is the 15 minutes bullish engulfer. And with that 15 minutes bullish engulfer, the market here may be retesting and rejecting back again. As you can see on the lower time frame from the 15 minutes perspective, it is in a bullish trend and expecting this market to continue to rise again to back to create a new higher high in this market. Hope that's clear. And at the moment, as it started its uptrend, we could see the market potentially continue to trend back again to create a new higher high. Hope that you guys enjoying the live session. It's starting, just still quite a long way to go. By the way, if you're in this live session every day, I'm doing live. If you are here every single day in this live session, trading, learning, growing, make sure you like this stream. Did you like that? Awesome. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. market is too choppy with wicks here. Look, there are two sides of a choppy market. Okay, the first side is that it's choppy, right? You can chop it easily. The side of the choppy market is that when a market is choppy, there is a higher chance for a breakout, right? Because the longer the consolidation, the stronger the breakout. You'll see that more often if you look at buying in the middle of the trend is sometimes a little risky, because at any point you see this market, if the market goes a lot, for example this move here, if you look at here, that initial move, and in this first move that you can see, right, the market, if you buy here after going a little bit, it reverses back. But if you look at, for example, this one choppy and then broken below, the market has rejected back to the upside here. Market is too choppy. Okay, M15 has formed triangular pattern. Look at the triangular. Yeah, so we can see a triangular pattern in that area. So yeah, the previous candlestick pattern on the 15th, it was actually breakout of that triangle. Now usually if you look at the market, when it formed this kind of triangular pattern, if that triangular pattern has a liquidity sweep at the lower, like in an uptrend, this breaking below, that means there is a false breakout here, it has a momentum to it, and in that case you can expect higher probability to trend back to the upside. This also I have mentioned in quite a few of my smaller videos as well as regular education. So if you look at an impulse followed by a triangular pattern, and then if you see that it didn't break below and just starting to trend again back to the upside, in those situations you see the market may reverse. Very high chance that this market will come back again for another liquidity sweep, but very high probability trade are those which form the triangular pattern and then didn't break the lower shadow, instead has broken the upper side and come back below to break the low and then trending. That's a potentially significantly bigger move. And if you look at this triangle here, the market has broken below and now it's trying to break to the upside, but the break should have been little bigger for us to straight away enter. But at the moment, that's why we are looking at this level here for bullish entry back to the upside here in that market. So that being said, looking at in that area for the market to maintain its uptrend as soon as we can see a price action confirmation here in that market. And with this bullish breakout on the 1 minute of this, if you look at, we can see that pattern in a bigger scale. Looking at the market to break that lower part and then to reverse. So breaking below here in that zone, in this narrow area, is where looking for further entry in this market. I hope that. Let's have a music here to a little bit louder. Ready with entry, like ready for entry as soon as it appears with risk manager tool, which is very important to have a risk manager tool to begin with. And let me do here hit in our here, as you can see, the market started to come down here back below, and looking at further downside here to retest. And if this market breaking back below and again returning its trend back to the upside, you will be looking for entry. That's our primary plan here, is to see, because there is already, if you look at, this is the 5-minute chart, there's an inverted head and shoulder. The market has entirely broken back to the upside from this inverted head and shoulder, created this retest, and the market is trending again back to the upside to create a new higher high. And looking at also the calendar, if you look at, okay, we are seeing some kind of breakup structure here, and that breakup structure, if you look at, it's entirely breaking back below. And now from the intraday here, the price is coming well below, it's approaching an important area of value where we can look for possible entry shortly. You want to see that, if you look at it, entirely broken back below to the order block. So with entirely a huge break below to this level, now this is entirely a long wick candle here in that area, and with that long wick, this is so we may find a possible entry here, because the market has really dropped to a key level. Now we want to see some liquidity grab of this support before we look for that entry back to the upside here in that market. And now, as of this top level, the market is, if you look at, it's rejecting back below, and that rejection that you can see, the market is coming towards that low. We are looking at the market to eventually come down further below here. Okay, so there has been some disruption, and my apology on that. I hope that you guys can hear me. All right, so here is now, at the moment we can see the market in that area. From the intraday, it's slowly building the price section. So here is the series of lower high here that you can see. Now with this series of lower high, this is series of lower high, and from that series of lower high, the market is slowly building its momentum back to the upside here. And because the market has created that momentum back to the upside, we could see the price to eventually break that to create a new higher high. So this is the support level here, and it's slowly building potentially a bullish price action here. And here I'm going to look at for a long entry, and with, of course, proper risk management is important to look at a little space for the stop loss around 72 pip, expecting it to go back again to the upside, and we will be looking to see a trend continuation here. So this is the buy entry that I am opening with only smaller risk per trade, which is essential. So here is looking at the market to eventually trend, and we can see that it's pushing back above here. The market is trending here, that you can see. Here is the market is trending. Looking at this market, we see there is a initial bounce now. Because this market is in a long-term trend, looking for another potential move, you can see some kind of rejection. If the market straight drop down again for another lower low, we will be looking for further entry later. So it's part of that. We can see some kind of rejection after moving back up, and we'll see that if the market coming lower further, we'll see maintaining its trend back to the upside. We're going to see a reversal that could happen. If it does, then we will be looking for there is a significant rejection of this order block, so looking for the market to eventually go back to 5053 level, and if that move happen, see that around 86-87 pip. Looking to see the market is trending, and with that trend you can expect it to continue to rise back above to create a new higher high. So you see that it's appreciating back to the upside. If the market cross this current high here, we'll be taking profit, because this market has got rejection. It might continue to rise, or it might retest again. We want to because there is already a break below here, so we'll not be taking too long with this trade, and we'll be re-entering again as soon as we'll find. But at the moment you want to see that crossing this high here at 5051. Once the market cross this high, we'll be looking for that entry back to the upside here in this market. We're seeing some short-term bullish, but there might be a continue this. Come on, make this sentence. Okay, there might be continuation of this uptrend, or you might see that breaking down further below. So therefore, here what we are looking at this market to eventually cross this high, and then to create a new higher high. There's another triangular pattern, so it's interesting market structure has formed here in that area, and of this triangle are looking to see the market to show up, and So we are running buy, and I think the market might, if you look at the 1 hour price action, which is the 30 minutes, if you look at this is the 30 minutes price action closing in 2 minutes time, and that 30 minutes candlestick pattern has dropped well below to this support, looking for a rejection further. And if the market eventually break to the upside here, we will be exceeding the trade with candle close. Now we are near at entry at the moment with this trade, and looking for the market to show up, move in that area. That's a liquidity grab. The market is showing up that there is a potential for a breakout structure. So try to stop loss here, and it's moving again, potentially back. Okay, getting back to the upside here, and that movement that you can see in this market could continue to rise here to create a new higher high, and this is what we are looking at, this market structure to go back and potentially to cross this high, and to eventually go back to 5049 or 5050 level. And there's a doji here, expecting it to continue to trend, and with a bullish engulfer, the market is showing up to be upside here. Price is just above our entry a little bit, and we'll see that the candle close, if we will be running this trade further or no. Let's wait to see. There has been significant liquidity sweep of this support level here. Here we can expect a short-term bounce. Now, I will not be running this trade very long because there is a long bearish engulfer. At some point, we could see the weak fill or continuation back to the upside. But at the moment, you want to take this high probability move in that area, high probability jump back to the upside here, right? This is what we are looking at in this market, high probability jump, and then taking the profit out of the trade. But if the market breaks off this level entirely below, it's gonna be that the market may create a new lower low. But at the moment, it crossed quite a few candles liquidity zone, and expecting a jump back to above 505253 level. And if that's happening, we will be out of with the trade and with the running profit. And I hope that you guys enjoying the live session. Make sure you like this stream if you enjoy, and also subscribe to the channel for more updated education as well as analysis that I'm posting, along with also stay connected by joining the free education and signal channel that you can find link below this video on Telegram, where you can also regularly access many of my regular trade ideas, education, analysis that I'm posting every day for the community, for the learning purpose. and here is we are the market is little sideways, but here expecting rejection back to the upside here. Come on, this is it's trying to break below, so if that's if it breaks below, if this market breaks below, then there might be getting that reaction here, and this time once the market will go enough back to our profit area, will be taking out. I am ready with any point of time to take out as soon as the market goes enough above here. This is little sideways. There might be less potential for bigger trend. So therefore, as soon as we see decent move happen above this entry to 40-50 pip, we will be taking the trade and we will be re-entering again as soon as it will reappear. So looking at here the lower time frame again, and we are progressing towards the session opening. So far we can see some bullish bias, and here is that looking to see the market to eventually cross back above, because the long-term trend is bullish. Now this is what I always talk about, guys. Trading with the trend is the even if you have a trade or few trade didn't work out in your favor, go on to the stop loss. It's part of trading. But if you guys looked at, now we are trading also using the hedging system that can help us to hedge many of the trade to make it much more easy for us to handle the stop loss. So as soon as the market so here in this area, there is, if you look at there is another doji close, and there is the market creating that pattern. Long wick. Okay, getting that reaction back to the upside here. This is what you need to see, a complete rejection of this support and then returning back to the upside here in that market. Gold, should we buy? Well, we are on a buy trade, but if we see the market at the moment, I will be waiting. If you haven't on the trade, then I will be waiting, because there are two chances here now: the market to drop again, break below, or we might see the market to bounce off this level, right? So we are waiting for the market to show up again. Here, the way it has formed the structure, it can continue to trend well below, or it can bounce back again and continue to trend back to the upside here, depending on how the market structure forming here. As we are progressing, as I mentioned, towards the end, starting of NY session, the market may show significant pattern, significant possibility here. It's a little bit of slide. This market, few times there is a false breakout, so if it breaks, it might even trend well below here. But I'm little surprised with the trend, as if you look at DXY currently in a sideways, but it's ultimately DXY is currently bearish, so gold ultimately should be showing up to be bullish market structure. But you can see the price is interestingly having the rejection. So if it continue to drop down further, so it's now well below, so you will be taking that out and looking for further entry on gold. If you look at here, it is breaking below, and you will be looking for, if you look at here, let it drop further down, and once we see the market dropped well below, we will be looking for breaking back to the upside, and this is what we're looking at. And the trend is up, so I'm still bullish. Taking London low, this is a very high chance the market to come down below the London low, and if the market is coming below the London low, if the market drop well below the London low, that is where there's a very high chance. I think the market eventually come to the London and also the daily. If you look at, this is the daily low, and chances that the market to come any of this low, it might even come back to the daily low. If you look at, this is the 1 hour 4 hour long wick candle, and also the 1 hour pretty long wick, it's almost nearly to 380 hour candlestick pattern. If the market coming to that far, to that, we could see the price again eventually reversing back to the upside here. Here the market has come well below this level to this support, and because the market has dropped down well below, we are looking for the price to cross this low and then to return again back above here. And it is a single drop that you can see in that area. Now it eventually tested this support here, and with that support test, what I think the market may resume its trend. We will be looking at entry again. With the previous one didn't work out. Now this one we will like to see the market is to show up that level here in that area. And if you look at, there is a initial move and drop to the roller block. Getting rejection, and I will be getting into a buy entry of this level here, as this is a significantly uptrending market structure. And again, I will keep a volatility increase. We need to, I'll keep little higher stop loss here, but the risk percentage same. We'll be targeting to that level here. You see there is a rejection of this, but this is a, if you look at that, it is an uptrending market structure. So looking to see the market to potentially to move off that level. Stop loss will keep at 5016.69 and profit will keep at 5050.77. Again, I'm taking a very smaller risk, guys, as the market is in a, unless there is, we see there will be, there's news coming in, still 30 minutes to go. So before the news, we'll look to see some kind of movement here in this market. So there is a, if you look at, this is a rejection again, and okay, we see the market is approaching that. I'm sharing the same trade in the group, and okay, it reversed. It reversed, and that reversal might continue here back above. Are you guys holding on to that? And here is what you can see, that looking at the calendar, and we will be looking to see the news coming in 30 minutes. I'm still holding on to that because this trade, guys, if the market reverses from here, it's gonna go a lot. So you wanna take it because the previous one didn't work out, and if this one work out up to this level, 180 pip at least, could be a good move that you can take if the market shows that reversal back above. And there is also, if you look at, news also important in terms of the fundamental perspective. So what's happening here now at the moment, okay, that's interesting. If we look at some of the US are just to ship to stay as far as possible from the Iran war. I really don't know how this will impact our forex, but there is some kind of geopolitical tension always in the market. That's really a bigger market move, and especially if you look at gold and oil, they're news driven. And looking at WTI had, if you look at from yesterday, seeing that this is a bull market at the moment on crude oil, and it's preparing for, if you look at here, it's getting quite a few times liquidity sweep here. All right, and dollar yen is in a downtrend. In the meantime, guys, if you are enjoying the live session, then make sure you like this stream. I'm holding on for 3 seconds to make that happen while we are running this trade. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. And come on, gold getting the rejection back above of, because if you look at this is the 4-hour 10 EMA that we have opened that position, and expecting it to eventually could reverse back above of this lower time frame support, and here it is consolidating, going to 5046. I will be taking that profit out of the market because the market has dropped a lot. Going back to 5046 or in that zone can be a significant entry, a good move here. But here, if it is breaking below of this level, then that's, I would say, that less likely to happen and also can happen. So risk management is key. If you entered, then must be managing the risk. Okay, you can't ever be able to trade without risk management, so it's important to look at. Okay, there is a rejection. Come on, it's interesting. It's going to change the trend. Really surprised to see that kind of volatility. And I'm holding on to that. We have another more than 25 minutes for the news, and before the news, looking to see the market to break that lower shadow here in that market. It's interesting. Okay, getting upside here, which is okay. It's showing up that in that area, and I'm looking to see. Are you guys with me? So this trade, anyone running here with me? I believe many of you have already shared in the premium group. But in this live session, anyone running this trade? We, if you're running, then how many pip is your current? Like what was your entry? For me, price. Entered well below here, 50, to 3.32. My entry is well below here, so, and the stop loss is correct. So I have a very tight entry. All right, so here I have only 64 pip stop loss. Currently I'm up with this 111 pip. Can you share your how many pip you are running in? If you have entered, I am running now 129 pip profit running, and at any point I will be closing. Just I want to know that everyone's who entered into the profit positive area, that means in profit area. If anyone is still running in negative, can you let me know, because I might secure the profit soon, because there is a support 40 pip. Okay, at least running in profit. I have little like when the market was breaking down here, that time I have entered, so my entry came little down here, so that gave me 115. I believe many of you also entered during that time, but it sometimes varies. Okay, that's the way it is, especially when you enter by market. All right, if you use the pending order more often you used to, then it's a different kind of setup, right? Because this move was very fast, so you entered by market. At the moment, if you look at, you want to see that there is a bearish fair value gap. If you look at the 1 minute chart, 5041 is the previous support and resistance, and there's a bearish, if you look at here, a fair value gap, and that bearish fair value gap is what you're looking at the market to go ahead and fill that bearish fair value gap in that market. This is looking at that level, right? So okay, now some lower time frame market structure that's showing up here to be side. Come on, it's gone sideways, and there is a bit of stronger rejection from the sellers, so on the higher time frame. So if this market not going strongly to the upside, we will be going out shortly with the running profit. Mine, the previous one, minus 75 p minus. Now this one, if goes well, that's gonna be in the profit area. Okay, so it's going up here, so nearly to 146 pip on this. We like to take it to further to the upside, and there's a, if you look at this is a void here. This is a bearish fair value gap, guys. The market is at that level. I'm going out with this one here at the moment. Okay, so I have also updated in the group, which is 130 pip. Now the first entry, now with that being said, we see market is, you know, moving in that direction, which is a good potential move back to the upside here. And if you look at it's crossing that high, we might see the market to this is a fair value gap, and we may see that it's maintaining its move back above here. So this is 15 minutes bull candle and entirely broken back above to the order block, and so off this order block it just got the rejection. So there is a significant breakout again here, so that is showing that that the market trend to remain bullish here, that you can see. Therefore the market may still be continuing back to the upside. By the way, what's your update with these traders? If you had any update, you can share in the live chat. All right, cool. Taken? Nice trade? Yes, it is. In fact, this is what trading is, guys, that I always talk about, that some trade may not go in your favor. That's fine. And that's why now we trade in the academy using advanced trading tool that can help us also to automate our system. This is how trading is 2026 and 2027 beyond, right? Beyond means like there's no limit in time, right? How does it look like 50, 26? How many thousand years it will be? And then 50,000, 26. So I think, do you wonder like that? How about, like one, because it's going on, right? 26, like all these zero, if you add, I don't know how many million, maybe 500, 1,000 million, 26, and then what? So that means there is no end. If there is no end, there is no beginning. Therefore, everything is here and we are trading together. Now, if we look at the next entry, if you look from this level, we are looking at for further entry. If you look at from here, this is a starting point of this move. The price again pushing back down below. Should I take partial or close trade? I have entirely closed. I think, the updated, because already the market is coming down for quite a few people, almost 50. I've taken entirely, not partial. Perfect. Thank you very much. Welcome. 128 pip. Well done. I have 130 pip. Very good. Yeah, that's a good one. I think it's gonna move even further because the news is coming in 8 minutes. We'll be waiting for the data. Is it moved or it's still there? Because with the shutdown, it just okay. It's showing the 7 minutes. That means that data may come or may not come. By the way, we'll be waiting to see. Looking at gold, yeah, we are, if you look at the daily price action here, that of this daily level. Now, let's, from the daily, if you look at the market drop here and it bounced back to the upside. Now, at the moment, let's now reflect with the trade. Both of them, right? We had one previously here, just broken back below. Now, this one has bounced back to the upside. Now, what is the primary indicator that have opened that position? The first is the support level that you can see here. Let's go to the lower time frame from the 1 hour. If you look at the market, we have entered in this support, right? Now, why this support is so important? Always look at the past. Past will tell you a lot about future. Okay, if you look at here of this, okay, this is key support level, and of this support, if you look at that, has gone a lot to the upside, okay, to this key level, and the market reached that, and then once the price was coming off that level, breaking below from that level, it's coming to the same key level. All right, now when we entered, we had a big edge here that this market could bounce back from this support level, and because the market could bounce back off this support level, we have entered the trade for this move. Because when the market was coming down here, if you look at the 1 hour, it is one single drop. One single drop is important because most false breakout will be directly hitting the key level from important zone. And from that point of view, if you look at, as the market dropped to that key support level, with this bigger drop, we had a big edge here for an entry, and that's our basis of our entry. Based on the smart money, when the market hit a key level, you can note that down. This is the most important note that you can take as a trader. When you see the market is hitting a key level with a larger ATR candle against the direction of the trend, very high chance that it's a false breakout. Then we see it's happened. Now, it is a little sideways market. Still, we have taken a move in that sideways market. As the data coming here in few minutes, coming up 2 minutes time, core retail sales. So how does the retail sales the retail sales so what the I hope that it's on the right place. What does the retail sales and core retail sales represents for the traders? Now, retail sales and core retail sales, that's basically shows the economic strength, right? You can just connect those information to overall market movement very easily. For example, let's say, how do you interpret that at 1 minute before the news? Say 1 minute, let's understand that. Retail sales means that retailers had more sale, right? If the forecast is 0.3%, if the outcome coming 0.4%, then the retailers are selling more. That means they have more sale, more people bought. And when there is a more retail sales, what happened? There has been more spending. When people spend more, when they have more to spend, there are more jobs. Shows the strength in economy. There is another side to it, inflation. More people want to buy the same product, the price will go up. There will be more money in people's hand. The currency will ultimately devaluate itself. Two sides to it. So now let's look at, that's why it has to be in a middle point. the balancing point. That's where everything happens. Okay, now here we are looking at in that area. Retail says 0.0%, forecast is 0.3%, both of them 0.0%. So look like that, 0, 0. Okay, now gold bounce back up. That shows downside on DXY. Okay, now DXY trend confirms to continue potentially. Confirmed means that not guaranteed, but high probability. So gold could appreciate here as well, as of in the direction of the trend. So the market remains bullish here, and we have on the trade. Now, how can we see the news reflecting here? ADP National Employment Report preliminary estimated of January 4. So, and tomorrow coming up also non-farm employment change, right? That was the first 2 weeks data, now tomorrow. And we'll be trading in this live non-farm employment change. Okay, it moved back above, and we might see that trend continuation here in that market. Looking at dollar yen is now downside, and we discussed about the dollar yen yesterday as well, along with gold. Also dollar yen, this is bearish price action on dollar yen, that if you look at with this long bearish angle for the market is showing up, and it may come down here back below. And so dollar yen is continuing its downtrend here, along with gold is moving in the direction of the trend. So that being said, traders, it is essential that when you are also trading and also learning and also doing the risk management properly, which is the key to become a consistently profitable trader. I'm almost nearing to the end of this live session. I hope that you enjoyed this live session. You found value in it. Make sure you check out all the details in the description where you can learn and grow as a trader with me every single day. All right, before you go, have some fun, and I'm coming on live tomorrow again in the same time to trade the NFP, the biggest event of the month, and the market to show significant movement with that data. And it will be, though the market is significantly volatile, we'll be looking to see some significant entry